14th consecutive home opening win for Bucknell. Have not lost a home opener since 2012 when it welcomed in a nationally ranked University of Delaware team. But both these teams looking to bounce back after under 500 seasons a year ago. St Bonaventure 6-10 last year, Bucknell 5-9. You throw last year out, you look at this season, and for the Bonnies, a young team, for Bucknell, an experienced team, a lot of things to unpack as we move forward in this one this afternoon. Zach Hepworth in the face-off dot for Bucknell. And for St Bonaventure, Lad Harper, A10 all-rookie pick from a year ago. And the all-rookie pick wins the opening face-off, gives it off to the leading returning scorer from last year in Patrick Shanahan, but not without some pressure by John Young. Offensive production, but as we've mentioned, very experienced team that returns, but big piece that's not on this team this year, Eric, is Connor Davis, the Bison's all-time leading scorer, graduating, had 42 goals last year. But you made an interesting point to me before we jumped on. Everybody knew what Bucknell's first and second pitch really was in Connor Davis. This year, you have so many more options to go to.
Yeah, I think you pretty much assumed Davis-Meyer, some combination there last year. And at least you could shut those guys down.
It's 5-9 record from a year ago. Finished below 500 here at home on the season in 2025. And would love to get what could be a 14th straight home opening win.
I think you mentioned earlier, 5 losses by 1 goal, leading in the fourth quarter last year. Heartbreaking. St Bonaventure offense, I like the way they were working the ball around. They were waiting for their chance. But Bucknell's been tough.
St Bonaventure, if you look at things glass half full, have had the upper hand in the face-off department thanks to that man right there, 13 and Brown and Lad Harper. That is now the third face-off win already today for St Bonaventure. And Harper, once again, duking it out at the dot. St Bonaventure, again, 75% on 1 face-offs to start. But Hepworth gets caught with clasping it illegally, so it stays with St Bonaventure. A undefeated all-time against the Bonnies. Eric, a slow, grinding first quarter that saw a lot of defense. How do the offenses start to find the rhythm here?
Well, the Bison need to find a way to get past Isaac Farmer, that's for sure. He's keeping the Bonnies in the game. He's had some fantastic... I think this is a situation that they're going to really figure things out at halftime often. You know, this is the first time you've seen it. Now you know the offensive sets. You know that they're playing open. We might see some changes.
And
they stayed out in the cold for halftime. They got to be fired up.
Bucknell jumped out to a 3-0 lead. St Bonaventure crept back closer, had chances to tie, but could not surmount that full comeback. And ultimately, we stay at this 1-goal difference.
There's a push.
And a push that goes against St Bonaventure. So a good start here for Bucknell. Minutes left in the first quarter.
Wow.
Man, oh man, was that drought needed to end for the Bison. Almost halfway through quarter 3, and Bucknell trying to preserve this undefeated record all time against St Bonaventure. That's another big thing, Eric. The Bison have gotten considerably better at the face-off wins.
Yeah. And even these, it's a face-off back.
Eric Martin, Jack Ridenauer are here with you. The Bison have had a plethora of goal scorers, to say the least. 4 different goal scorers, with Peter Grandolfo notching in his second recently.
They got a fast break coming. Oh, they gave it.
Bison to back-to-back victories to start 2026.
They're calling it timeout.
And a timeout for St Bonaventure to try and settle things down. And you mentioned when we went, Zach Hepworth back out at the face-off dot after Colin Mcloy took the last face-off. Hepworth, one of the few transfers for the Bison this year, as a false start on Hepworth. So the transfer from Ohio State gets tagged for the violation. Again, the Bonnie won. Colin Mcloy takes this faceoff. He was last year's faceoff leader for the Bison. Rakes at it. Picked up by Panetti. He's got Berrigan. It's Meyer. Denied. Farmer with a good save. And maybe there's something to spark a little rally for the visitors, but for this Bison team that has some high expectations this season, trying to knock some of that early season rust off and again pick up what could be a 14th consecutive home opening victory. Battle for possession, and John Young scoops it up.
Tossing it back, start with their clear.
And looking ahead for this Bison team, certainly have a tall task ahead next Friday on the road against reigning NEC champion Robert Morris, a really good Colonial team. So this Bison team could really bring some confidence into next week's matchup, especially if it can finish out the job in the next 13 and a half minutes. And the one bright spot for St Bonaventure, again, has been the face-off department, although Bucknell has stormed back. Now the 8th face-off won, at least for the moment, and finally secured by St Bonaventure's Kowal.
That's just bad luck.
Now the 7th different goal scorer today for Bucknell, had 8 different scores last week. As lad Harper continues to be a magnet at the face-off dot.
Great face-off. That's going to serve them well this season.
And we highlighted the youth that in Bethesda, Maryland, a top-tier, nationally known lacrosse program that plays in arguably one of the top high school conferences in the country in the IAC, playing the likes of Georgetown Prep, Bullis, and Panetti and Murray are both top 5 in Landon's all-time goal-scoring records. Wow. And Murray just gives him the assist on the goal. So you got to love the connection there with the 2 former Landon Bears now becoming Bucknell Bison.
Absolutely. That's, I'm sure, great for them, great for the fans at home, great for their friends and family.
For Coach Frank Federaca, probably saved a lot of mileage on the recruiting.